Greetings, Earthlings. This is Wesley from the ETS and etc. blog with more ufological videos for you. Could our moon be an alien artificial structure, or at least maintain extraterrestrial bases? Even though the Apollo missions have brought back to Earth enormous amounts of data about the moon, it remains an enigma for astronomers and scientists. Dr. Robert Jastrow, the first chairman of NASA's Lunar Exploration Commission, called the moon the Rosetta Stone of the planets. But what is it about the moon that fascinates everyone? Well, there are many people who firmly believe that Earth's moon is actually a work of engineering that has a 3-mile thick outer layer of dust and rocks. Below this layer, the moon is believed to have a solid shield of about 20 miles, made of highly resistant materials such as titanium, uranium-236, mica, and neptunium-237. Definitely elements you wouldn't expect to find inside the moon. There are many ufologists from around the world who speculate that the moon is actually a giant alien base where ETs monitor the progress of humanity. There are so many mysteries surrounding the moon that there are those who have proposed that the moon could be something else entirely. NASA scientist Robin Brett stated that it seems easier to explain the non-existence of the moon than its existence. Here are 7 irregularities that suggest Earth's moon was engineered and could be a giant hollow alien base. Are there no aliens on the moon? The moon looks like a work of engineering. In November 1969, NASA intentionally crashed the lunar module, which caused an impact equivalent to a ton of TNT on the moon. Shock waves were generated, and NASA scientists paid attention to what was happening on the moon. Strangely, after the impact, NASA scientists said the moon sounded like a bell, and the reverberation continued for 30 minutes. According to Ken Johnson, data and control supervisor for the photography department, the moon not only sounded like a bell, but the entire moon swayed so precisely that it was almost as if it had a gigantic hydraulic shock absorber inside it. And there are no aliens on the moon. 2. The moon has elements that it shouldn't have. In the 1970s, Michael Vazin and Alexander Cherbakov of the Soviet Academy of Science wrote an article called "Is the Moon the Creation of Alien Intelligence?" It was a very interesting article that exposed some important questions. How is it possible that the surface of the moon is so hard? And why does it contain minerals like titanium? Mysteriously, there are some lunar rocks that have been found that contain processed metals, such as brass, mica, and the elements uranium-236 and 237, and Neptune, which could never occur naturally. However, there are traces of them on the moon. Uranium-236 is radioactive nuclear waste. It is found in uranium and in nuclear reprocessing. More interestingly, Neptune-237 is a radioactive metallic element and a byproduct of nuclear reactors and plutonium production. You have to ask the question, what is happening on Earth's moon? Where are these elements and minerals coming from? And there are no aliens on the moon. 3. Earth's moon does not have a solid core like any other planetary object. Researchers are almost 100% certain that the moon is in fact hollow or has a very low density interior. Strangely, the moon's mass concentrations are located at a series of points just below the surface. And there are no aliens on the moon. 4. The moon is older than the Earth. Our moon is unlike any other satellite ever discovered in the known universe. Researchers know that the moon is about 4.6 billion years old, and this raises a number of questions. This means the moon is older than the Earth by about 800,000 years, according to scientists. So there are aliens on the moon. Phi orbit? Unbelievable. Earth's moon is the only moon in the solar system that has a nearly perfect stationary circular orbit. It is a fact that the moon does not rotate like a natural celestial body. In other words, our moon does not share some characteristics with other moons found in our solar system. If it weren't strange enough, from any point on our planet's surface, only one side of the moon is visible. The other side is always hidden. What is the moon hiding? And there are no aliens on the moon. 6 moon rocks and titanium. Some lunar rocks have been found that contain 10 times more titanium than titanium-rich rocks on planet Earth. Here on Earth, we use titanium in supersonic jets, deep-diving submarines, and spacecraft. Dr. Harold Urey, winner of the Nobel Prize in Chemistry, said he was terribly intrigued by the rocks found by astronauts on the moon and their titanium content. The samples were unimaginable and mind-blowing. The researchers could not explain the presence of titanium. And there are no aliens on the moon. 7. Precise position. If all the points above don't lead you to think differently about the moon from Earth, here are some more interesting things about the moon. What keeps the moon in its almost perfect position? The moon has a precise altitude, heading, and speed, allowing it to function properly with respect to planet Earth. The moon should not be in the place it currently is. Everything points to the possibility that Earth's moon was in fact placed in its current position in the distant past. The moon's unnatural orbit and irregular composition raise hundreds of questions that neither NASA scientists, astronomers, or geologists have been able to answer to this day. Despite all efforts to understand Earth's natural satellite, the truth is that we have very little information about the origin and purpose of the moon. What do you think of the moon? Is it an almost perfect natural occurrence, or does the origin of the moon surpass human understanding? There's plenty of evidence that the moon can or has harbored aliens at its bases. There are many images, including from NASA, giving clues to structures. But among this evidence that there is or was alien life on the moon, I would like to highlight 2 cases that I think are the most important, precisely because they are cases that provide relevant evidence, and mainly because they are found in official NASA photos. These could be possible mistakes by the North American Space Agency. The first case I want to show is about an official photograph published by NASA, which shows 2 agency employees who have the role of principal investigator, as we can see in the photo itself. Below his arm, there is a photo on the table. From it, we can deduce that it is our moon, with its peculiar and obvious craters. In the midst of them, there is a construction that clearly denotes artificiality. It is obviously a construction, and apparently on our moon. See in detail and with filters. The other case I think is more incredible. I can't find any other explanation other than a high-tech construction in one of the moon's craters, a real dome on our moon. Translucent dome capable of maintaining life inside with oxygen, since the moon has no atmosphere. What we bring here is great evidence of bases and life on the moon in a photo published on NASA's own website. Was it a mistake on NASA's part, or was it something on purpose? But what would be the intention? The fact is that that structure differs from all other craters on the moon, demonstrates a contrary curvature, and due to the type of light reflection, appears to be something translucent and with some other type of construction, with straight lines and corners inside. Is it or isn't it great evidence of artificial bases on our moon? Keep the images, and don't forget to leave your comments and share this video.
E não tem alien na Lua.
Tem.
Não tem alien na Lua.
Alien na Lua.
Obrigado por assistir e até o próximo vídeo.